Welcome to the Better Life Podcast. I'm April, and I'm so happy that you are with me today. If it's your first time, welcome. This podcast is all about becoming better every single day, making a life that is better than ever. It is possible. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do that today. Just hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and every single week you'll get a brand new episode as well as other episodes if you're watching on YouTube right now. I have some special videos that have gone up that you may or may not know of. One of them is Healing Scriptures. It's with my mom, Osteen. We have a shortened version, which is Healing Scriptures, her healing testimony. We have an extended version, which a lot of people play all night long. So I'll link that right here up above, and you can check that out, as well as all the other videos that we have. Today, in this episode, I want to talk to you about raising your self-esteem, about becoming all that God created you to be. Let me ask you something. Have you given yourself permission to succeed at being you? Have you embraced who God has called you to be? Have you set yourself up to grow in that person that God has called you to be? If not, the great news is we can begin today. See, every day begins with the person that we see in the mirror. And y'all, some people don't like who they see in the mirror. Some of you watching or listening may feel like a mistake, an accident. You may feel unworthy. I'm going to give you a few things to help you raise your self-esteem and help you become all that God has destined you to become. Number one is this: get comfortable being you. You, the person that God created. The scripture says in Jeremiah 139:14, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. See, when you really realize God, who created heaven and earth, made you, and He created you with purpose. He created you with destiny. He created you with a great future in mind. You have to get comfortable in your own skin. Now, I come from a large family. I'm the youngest of 5. All my brothers and sisters are preachers. They're really great at what they do. They're great speakers. And I have to tell you, a while back, I was sitting at Lakewood and I was listening to one of my siblings preach. And I was real close to getting discouraged. This was years ago because I thought, man, my sister Lisa's an amazing preacher, Joel, Paul, all of them are just great. And for a moment while I was sitting there listening, I thought, man, I'm not that way. I'm not that good. I don't speak like that. All these things went through my mind. And thank God I realized, you know what, April, you're not called to be them, you're called to be you. Each of us has our own unique style, and if I'm trying to be like someone else, if I'm trying to, emulate them, then I'm not stepping into who God has created me to be. It was at that moment on the front row of my family church in Houston that I had to get comfortable in my own skin. See, don't sacrifice yourself to become who someone else thinks you should be. Don't sacrifice yourself to become someone that you think you should be like. Don't ignore your own potential. You want to raise your self-esteem? Stop trying to be like somebody else. It doesn't matter who you used to be. Oh, y'all, this will preach right here. It doesn't matter who you used to be. It matters on who you are becoming. Focusing on the past keeps you from experiencing the plan that God has for your future. Now, let me just remind you, you are not your sin. You are not your past. You are not your failure. You are who God says you are in Christ Jesus. Don't ever doubt your worth. The first way of raising your self-esteem is to not doubt your self-worth. Get comfortable being you. You may not be where you want to be right now. Hey, none of us are. But you're not where you used to be. So stop beating yourself up. Stop looking at everything you're not. When you realize that the enemy rarely misses an opportunity to bring discouragement on you, you'll recognize, you know what, this isn't a voice of God. God comes to give us life and life more abundantly. This is the voice of the enemy. He's trying to steal my joy. He's trying to steal my identity. He doesn't want me to see my value. He doesn't want me to see my worth. He wants to distract me into everything I'm not, to keep me from everything that God has promised that I'll have, that I'll be, where I'll go. You have to remember that God is for you, so stop being against you. It's not about who others say you are. It's about who God says you are. It's about what God has called you to do. Let me remind you what God says about you. You are His masterpiece. You're beautiful. You're good looking. You're unique, one of a kind. You're loved. You're special. You're strong. You're forgiven. You're chosen. You are family. Isaiah 43:1 says, I have called you by your name. You are mine. God knows you from the inside out. He calls you by name, and He says, you know what? Others may have rejected you, but I will not reject you. You are mine. Begin to think differently about yourself. A new way of thinking gives us a new way of living. Let go of who you think you need to be and step into who God has created you to be. Y'all, change can't be dictated. It can't be demanded. It has to come from within. And when things change on the inside of you, things are going to change around you. There's freedom in just being you. Secondly, focus on being the best version of you. Stay loyal to who you are today. Today, you are not the same person that you used to be last year. You know why? Because you've grown. You've become better. That's our goal, right? The past is behind you. You don't live there anymore. Stop talking about it. Stop dwelling on it. Don't stay loyal to your past self. You have moved on. You may say, well, you know what? Circumstances haven't changed. It's a new day. God's mercies are new every morning. Stop reflecting on the old and focus on today. And if you haven't let go of the past, let go of it today so you can embrace today, so you can live today, live in the moment and thrive today. Make sure you're doing things daily to better yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. Always bring your A game to every single day. Challenge yourself. Don't wait for something to happen in your life where you have to play catch up. No, learn something new every day. Get better physically every day. Change your attitude every day so that it's one of life and when it's one of positivity. Don't keep waiting to do or to become until this maybe hard time in your life ends, this season in your life ends. Be all you can be today. Be all you can be even when life is tough. Be all you can be even though the circumstances around you are trying to bring you down. Thrive where you are right now. God has plans for your life right now. It's not when the season ends. It's not when things in your life get better. It's not when your relationships get better. No, thrive today. Another thing, you can't focus on being the best version of you if you're constantly comparing yourself to others. True fulfillment is when we are ourselves, when you're busy creating your own fulfillment. See, when you're busy creating your own fulfillment, you don't have to seek it from others. Your life isn't really yours if you're constantly thinking about what other people think. There will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let that person be you. And hey, here's a side note. Someone else's success doesn't mean your failure. Oh, y'all, that's so good. Focus on you. Cheer others on. Focus on becoming a better you. Don't let other people's success cause you to get down in the dumps and start questioning God. God, why is this not happening to me? No, focus on becoming a better you. When you focus on growing and stop comparing your life to others, your life will get better. Number 3, step out of your comfort zone. Take a step out of the ordinary. Take a step out of the safe place. Do something you haven't done before. Les Brown said, life has no limitations except the ones you make. Man, that's so true. Y'all, don't limit yourself. You can make excuses or you can make it happen. You want to increase your self-esteem? Do something you haven't done before. Stop wishing and start doing. Stop saying, I can't handle this. You're not too old and it's not too late. You can do anything you decide to do. I promise you can. Maybe every single day, get up and say this, I can do this. I can do hard things. I have what it takes. I've got this. I'm built for pressure. Y'all, life is too short to start with limitations and to live life in fear of the unknown. Now, you may be thinking right now, what if I can't? Well, let me challenge you. What if you can? Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Get those negative voices out of your head. Get the defeated attitude out of your head. Stop thinking you're not talented enough or not qualified. You have unlimited potential. You know what I always say? Be careful how you talk to yourself because you are listening. Cheer yourself on. Get the negative committee out of your head. Do what you can with the time that you have today. Do what you can with the talents that you have today. You may say, I don't have any talents. Every day be growing. You have more talents than you think. Live your life in the moment. Stop leaving your dreams and your gifts on the table. Don't live life on the sidelines. Get back in the game. There's no person in this world exactly like you. Listen, y'all, let's just be who we really are because life is too short to be anyone else. Let's regain our self-confidence. Let's just start believing we can. Let's start believing we can do what God says we can do. We can go where God says we can go, and we can have what God says we can have. Hope you've enjoyed today. I hope and pray that you really embrace who God has designed you to be. Until this time next week, I hope you have an amazing day.